We've seen an increase in a lot of cards these past couple weeks, and it's only getting more crazy with a lot more. Hype is really building up for decks coming out, which is why I can see a lot of these cards jump up in price. But just the sheer amount of what these cards have summed up to is incredible. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. As you can see, starting off, we have Sunrise Ray Radiant Sword Gurguit. This is the generation rare for Gold Paladins. It was originally at $30, and I see it now in the $55 range. There's only 2 on TCG. It's definitely a staple in most Gold Paladin decks, and I can only see it, being more used with set 10 right around the corner, with us getting even more Gold Paladin support, including a new Gurguit that could possibly make full use of this card even more. It's just straight up power. Like I said, it's good in any Gold Paladin deck, so I can definitely see the price increase. The same thing happened with Amnesty Dragon when that card had support coming out, and then the price dropped. We might even see a better version of this card that'll cause it to drop. So you might want to get rid of your Gurguits now. If you have multiple Gurguits for trade, definitely get rid of them now. This is probably the highest I'm going to see this card go up to, and we'll see if it does take a drop. If anything, it probably won't drop below 30 where its original price was. Next up, keeping with the gen rares, we have Rikudo Stealth Dragon Tsukumorakan. This is the one for Nubatama. This card was originally at $20 to $24, and it pretty much almost doubled in price. We have a couple good prices of this card here on TCG. We don't have any confirmed support for Nubatama yet. I think it's all just hype because the main antagonist, I'm calling him, of the Vanguard series is running Nubatama from what we've seen. So definitely, hoping for more support since he does use it. And this card is definitely a staple with the deck. It can limit your opponent down to 3 hand size, which, just belittles building up a hand because he takes it out of the formula for having a hand consistency. He limits your opponent, and it can be a real game winner if you have 3 attacks going on and they're at 4 damage and you get a critical. So if you're if you already have your Nubatama deck, I know I have mine ready, have my 2. You're not going to see this, probably more than 2 just because of the huge cost it has. But definitely want to hopefully either it gets a reprint or he'll go down in price before the official release of the set is announced. Next up, we have Dark Dragon Spectral Blaster Diablo. This card has also doubled in price from last I remember. I remember it being in the $10 to $13 range. Now it's sitting at $27. This card is used in Luard decks. It's generic. I mean, if you have a heart with Diablo, you do get an extra boost, but it is a restanding Vanguard for Stride, which is why I can see it be used, especially in those decks. Luard is pressure on its own, and making full use of this card just makes it even worse. And the fact that you only need to really run one of this card because you can unflip anything, basically, and use this card's effect. So making it very versatile and usable since it won't take up too much space, requiring you to have 2 in a deck. So definite, lucky for those who have the 4 for the playsets for the blaster decks. Next up, we have Black Shiver Gavrail. This card is between $28 to $30. It's really, needed in the Angel Feather deck. You have to run 4, which is why I could see it increasing. The pack is out of print, Soul Strike Against the Supreme, and I think the only other way you can get Gavrail is from the SP pack in set 7. So I don't know if this card's going to go down in price, honestly. I know people always try to make use of Angel decks. I know that they got hit, I think, recently on the latest ban list. If they didn't get hit, I know that the one card's up for consideration, the one that gives immense power, the grade 2. But the deck is just all powerful. I can see it popping up again with the new Nationals coming up soon this spring. We'll see how it plays out. If the deck gets hit before then, maybe we'll see a drop, but until then, I'm not thinking that it will. Another Gold Paladin card for the triple rares we have is Golden Dragon Glorious Reigning Dragon. I know it says 17 right here, but honestly, the card is showing a price of $34. And there's only these on TCG right now, so we have that to go off of. Once this one's gone, you're looking at $34 for a Glorious Reigning, which I think is incredibly crazy. I think it's the most expensive card in Set 8 Absolute Judgment, so you have that to go off of as well. Just the fact that it meant so much. It's good. It's a good, card to build up GB2 with Gurguit, because you can stride into it first. You'll only get one search, but like I said, you'll be left with Gurguit's GB2 guaranteed afterwards, which is what I see a lot of people considering to do with this card. But if you got your playsets cheap when they were, I think 10 to 15 is what they originally were. Now they're going to be spiking up. Definitely lucky for you. Next up, we're showing basically Chronotherapy Hamster and Chronovolley Rabbits. All the holos from the trial deck for the Zodiacs have just, had stagnating prices on their holos, especially since I think you only get one of each per box. So you have that to go off of. The fact that you can only get one hamster for every 6 trial decks and 1 rabbit, because I think they give 12 of all the Zodiac. I can see why it is this price. It's not because it's good, it's because it's hard to get. Like I said, you literally have to pay $70 for a whole box just to get one, making playsets definitely difficult. And the prices are trending with both of these for those sets. If you have your holo Chronotherapies, I haven't seen this card go down, so you definitely paid the price for this. I probably will see it stay at this for those gear lovers who want to see holo cards. Next, we have 99th Dimensional Robo Commander, Great Dalearth. D-Robo support. They announced some epic support for D-Robos. They have a new starter that's Superior Strides, making Seabreeze the thing of the past. They got a new G-Guardian. I don't think it's a D-Robo G-Guardian, but it's still used in the deck. It's really good. They even got a new Stride that gives +5 in a crit to the front row. It's insane, and Dalearth is just going to add, to that pressure. It's good. It searches. It's a great first Stride. You won't get the crit, but you will get searches, and the fact that you can do this when your opponent purposely grade stacks themselves makes it even better. Next up, we have, not that one, we have Drag Saver SRAS, an $18 Perfect Guard. We haven't seen these in a while since Arlim. This is a very good Perfect Guard because it's recycle power. What I'm curious to see, because this card has increased, it was originally staying at $10, now it's at the $18 range. What I'm curious to see is, will this card follow the trend with the new upcoming Perfect Guards we have for, let's say, Gear Chronicle? I like the pattern they're doing. They gave us special abilities for Perfect Guards with the ones in the latest sets, but the trend I see now with Drag Saver SRS is they're giving us recycle Perfect Guards, ones you can put back, ones you can reuse very easily, and ones you can search for. It's gonna really change the deck if we see lots of trends like this, like a new Batama one for bind ability. I could definitely see cards retaining value then. We've had a lot of Perfect Guards not retain value just because they prefer the unflip ones, but if they're giving us ones where they're easy search just by manipulating the drop zone, I can see those and be the price that they're given. Crayon Tiger, this card is $18. It's been around that price range, and I think it's going to stick around that range just because of Great Nature hype. Trinity Dragons pack will be out for us within the next couple months, and this card wasn't in the Revival collection. We got Binoculus Tiger, and that card's dropped in price, but Crayon Tiger, definitely needed, definitely used. I can see it sticking around that price. And the last card we have, keeping with the trend, is Voltage Horn Dragon. This card is $19 now. The hype for the Vanquisher deck is real. It's expensive. If you have the deck and don't play it too much, I would definitely recommend getting rid of it. Just because everything in the set is pretty much around this price area. Voltages are quite pricey if I remember correctly. The Strides are as well. Just everything that adds up to the deck will make it pricey. But Voltage Horn is what caught my eye the most, just because it's a double rare. It's good, but it's a $19 price range is pretty crazy, especially since there are a lot of them trending like that. But yeah, that's it for this price market watch. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And Kiraqualia out.